Hi, my name is Dahlia. Okay, I know you are still young because when you think young, definitely you are young. Okay, and then my question is very simple. I think when you are very good in your line, for example, as a doctor, okay, have you ever had your dream to have your own ideal hospital? How is your ideal hospital like? If you have the, for example, the ideal one for us to share, and if any investor to invest, how is your ideal hospital for the general Malaysians?
That's a
it's
okay. That one we should have a full seminar actually.
another talk.
No, but I mean, because it's a very, you see, when you are asking a question like that, really what you're asking is what's an ideal health service lah? Because a hospital is not just something in isolation, no. You can't have one hospital in a desert. I mean, it's a whole healthcare system. So I tell you what, actually, the whole thing, if you want, is enunciated in the vision and mission of the Ministry of Health. Where they talk about an ideal health system, where by the year such and such, everybody will enjoy equity of access to healthcare. There will be equal access to all the best practices in healthcare. It will be affordable. It will be state of the art. In other words, anything that medical science has made available, we would have it there. And by the way, we are not very far from there. Quite honestly, there's not much that cannot be done in Malaysia. And people I know go overseas for treatment and all that, but some fancy stuff lah. But really, all the essential things we do here. We do, right, like I said, we do heart transplants, we do replacement surgery, we do anything really, brain surgery, everything. So we have the people and we have the technology here. So we don't really, coming back to this, so what would your ideal hospital be? First of all, it has all these facilities, it can take care of the sick in a humane. In other words, we still practice the art as well as the science of medicine. Medicine is both an art and a science. Now there are two things that are happening, a number of things happening in medicine, one of it is I call the medicalization of health. What do I mean by that? We are looking at health more and more from the medical angle, when actually health is more living, more living, not just medicine, or technology. So I call that medicalization. And the other one is the technologification of medicine. Medicine has become so technological that eventually you lose the art, and you think medicine is only a science, press some buttons and you get answers. It's not, because the laying on of the hands, most of the time actually you give the medicines, the patients heal themselves. And for that, what you do, you must give them support. You have to support them, you talk to them, you give them faith, confidence and all that. The will to live and the kind of energy that you can generate from inside yourself. There are many things that even boost your own immune system. For instance, if you are depressed and you don't want to live and all that, your immune system drops. On the other hand, you got a strong will to live, you can fight back. So all these are real, and that's where in the art of medicine we learn to practice this. So your ideal hospital will also be doing this. And today actually you find that a lot of hospitals even evoke all this. Many hospitals now, modern hospitals, even have prayer rooms and everything. They even have place for church service, for your surau, a little bit of altar for the Hindus, because that's where the family gets some comfort. The patient, what each of us believes is irrelevant. What the patient believes is important. So the ideal hospital will look after all this. Ideal hospital will also provide something for the family that comes along with them. And you engage the family in looking after the patient, so that they also come and be the support group and all that. And most importantly, the hospital must do no harm, even if it can't do some good. Now there's a lot of medically caused harm, in the medical sector now. Yet what we call iatrogenic problems, where the doctors and the medicine has caused problems rather than the other way around. There is such a thing now. A lot of mistakes are also being done. A lot of mistakes, a lot of over-treatment, a lot of wrong treatment happens. So those are the kind of things you'll avoid in your ideal hospital. But I like your thinking about dreaming. We should never stop dreaming. Alright? Actually, just to talk about age and everything, life is a mixture of dreams and memories. When you're very young like yourselves, you are full of dreams. You haven't built up memories yet. When you reach my stage, you got plenty of memories, hardly any dreams. And sometimes the dreams are actually more fantasies than dreams. Right? So, but what I'm saying is I've never ceased to dream. Okay? Now, and then you talked about ideal hospital. Once a friend told me, he says, a man looks for his ideal woman, in between he gets married.
Ouch. That's a lot of wisdom. Right.
Tan Sri, this is not regarding healthcare, but back in when you went for the Asian Games, like at the starting block when you were there, what went through your mind? Were you confident of winning it? Were you not? And the second part of the question is, since your time, I think there weren't that many sprinters that Malaysians know. Maybe a few know Rabampit, Azmi Ibrahim, Watson Yambet, but the last 10-20 years we haven't heard of much that Malaysians here can relate. Do you see a chance of the glory day coming back?
Okay, I'll take your questions one by one. The first one is, what do I feel? What is very important, you want to win something, you must convince, you have to convince yourself that you're going to win, and there are no two ways about it. And how do you get to that stage? Apart from, if you don't prepare, you don't train, don't even bother to try. You must do all that first. And having done all that, then still the field is even, You can do all that, train as hard as you want and still not win, right? So what is the winning age? The winning age is your own belief that you're going to win. You read the book, The Secret. Have you read the book? Yeah. Bestseller. It tells you, what you believe will come out. Okay, the same thing. So what do? We do visualization. At that time, I didn't even know it was a technique. I just practiced it automatically. For about 3 weeks before, every night I'm lying down, I can see the picture of the 100-meter race. They didn't have television, but I can see it in my mind's eye. I can see the 100-meter race. I can see myself winning, dipping at the finish in a close race. I see the thing every night, So I go back, I just replay it, that's all. So what is important is you have the confidence you're going to win, and that you do through imagery and visualization. But what is even more important, this is something that important is that you must behave and carry your body language and strut around and do all that in such a manner that everybody else thinks you are going to win also. That is equally important. I mean, there's a swagger and a strut, when you walk. I mean, have you ever seen any of these Negroes sprinters and all that, or these colored black sprinters just walk simply? No, they swagger.
It's like Muhammad Ali.
You have to swagger and so for instance, like me, I got my 7, I never, look like a worried fella, sit in a corner, put a blanket over my head. You just strut around as if like no care in the world, and you're going to, and then sort of, when the people call you to come to the start, you pretend as if you're in no hurry. Oh, is the race on? Sort of things like that. Inside you're suffering like mad, You see, you don't show it. Like this, there was this athlete called Noruddin Moselli, I don't know whether you heard of him. He won last time, 6 or 7 years, 1500 meter, nobody beat him, Wow. He won every race, So, and he walks around with this aura, invincibility. So one day the journalist, press conference asked him, Mr. Moselli, life must be very boring for you. Every time you step on the thing, you just win, and and then, so of course before the night, other people, they have anxiety, worry and all that. You probably just say, what do you mean? Every night before every race, I worry and I worry and I worry. What do you worry about? Who'll come second? Who'll come third?
That is quite impressive, actually.
So you see, that is the kind of confidence you have. All right, I tell you now. And this is translatable to any facet of life. Let's talk of salesmanship. Let's talk of 2 kinds of vacuum salesmen. Door-to-door salesmen. The first guy comes in, knocks on the door and says, Madam, I'm so sorry to disturb you. Actually, my supervisor sent me, You're asking me to sell this vacuum cleaner. They say it's the best in the world, but honestly, there are 3 or 4 mates. But anyway, the guy has asked me to come. Can you give me 2 minutes? Because he's watching me from there, he chase me out very fast. Okay, do you think he'll make a sale? No. The other guy comes in, knocks on the door and says, Madam, my name is Chan. You may not know it, but today is your lucky day. Of 133 houses, I picked yours. And why? Because I'm going to give you an offer that is so special that there's not many people have seen this. This is a vacuum cleaner that after that nobody will know what dirt is. Okay?
I'm quite amazed at the topic that we covered today.
Just you have two main components of your life, being a doctor
The other one I'm not talking about, okay?
and as an athlete. If you could turn back time, what improvement could you have done in both part of your life?
Okay. As a doctor, I would have learned how to cut, poke, or look through. And I would have made more money. Instead of chasing germs, you know. Okay. But in terms of athletics, I think, for the times, I'm quite satisfied. I mean, it was just a hobby. It was just a hobby. And you know something? I only spent 8 years in athletics, I spent 42 years in medicine. And yet, even today, as I'm walking down some crowded seat in Medan, Tuanku or somewhere, I can hear somebody talking behind my back, hey, the flight, run. I'm 42 years in medicine, here, there, everywhere, and that's all because that's what attracts, somehow, I don't know why, but that's what happens. To me, it was just actually a phase of my life, but it gave me taught me a lot of things. It taught me a lot of the things that I've reflected today in my talks about confidence, taking losses, taking defeats, excelling in things, which I translate. Whatever, you see, the thing about all of us is we can learn, but what they don't teach you in education is that nobody can teach you what you're exactly supposed to do. Tell me how many of us go and study exactly the work we do? Never, We study to learn how to study and how to work. So the most important thing is not the study part, but how you can translate your lessons into your what you need to do. That's your translatability of knowledge and wisdom is the most important thing, not the facts that you learn. The trouble is we're turning out now children to just answer multiple choice questions and score A's, but not really critically thinking, analyzing, and learning how to learn and how to apply the lessons that you learn. The clever man is the man. A clever man is the man who learns from his mistakes. A cleverer man is one who learns from other people's mistakes. See, so that is. So if you ask me, medicine, maybe I might have done a few things different, looking on hindsight, especially on a cold and rainy day when there's thunder and lightning and the flooding, the house is flooding, and I look at my pension check and say, I should have learned how to cut, poke, and look through, But as far as athletics is concerned, I think for my time, that was what I set out to do, and so I'm quite happy with that. But if I had, for instance, if I had if I had, say, at that time decided, I was offered a sports scholarship in the United States at that time, because the US used to do that. They actually picked some people from here, there, Jamaica, Malaysia, and all that. So I was offered, and my father actually stopped me because he wanted me to become a doctor, not become just an athlete. At that time, athletes don't make a living,
Yes,
so he was very wise, and I thank him for that, So that's why I did it. But if I had gone, maybe instead of being a semi-finalist, I might have been a medalist. That's the difference, the age, the extra,
But I guess the nation would like to thank your father for stopping you.
And those days we listened to fathers,
I know. That's why when he touched on the regrets, I like to quote a bit on Frank.